Hello and welcome to the Lucky Roll. My name is Emma.
And my name is Lorcan.
Since Valentine's is coming up, we decided as a couple to share some of our favourite games.
Quite a few of them are solo two-player games. A few more of them you can play with 3, 4, maybe up to 5. But they're ones that play great as games for 2 people.
Our first game of the night is Patrick, and for the occasion that's in it, we decided to share Patrick Valentine's edition.
Well, the first time we played this, we played the standard version, which is your brother's game.
Yes.
And then you picked up this one for me.
In Travelling Man in Manchester. I like getting, I suppose, reskins of games. Maybe just, there might be maybe different mechanics, might just be a reskin. So just something different to what we've played already.
In this one, it's just a reskin. So in the standard game, you're building a quilt. So you need to collect tiles to fill out your quilt, and you earn buttons which you then use to buy more tiles. The Valentine's edition plays the exact same, but instead of a quilt, it's a box of chocolates, and you use pralines to buy your tiles.
And which one would you prefer?
I do love the Valentine's one because it's the one you got for me. I do love the buttons in the standard patchwork. So they look lovely.
That's it. And like I saw on Etsy that you could get like physical blue buttons to use the tokens instead. It's a nice touch.
Yeah.
They play about 25 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
About that. It could even be 20 minutes depending.
When you get used to it, you kind of get through them a bit quicker.
That's it. Patrick is a nice game for maybe you're after dinner but you don't want to commit to
a big game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice and easy. That's it.
The next game we have is Splendor Duel. Now we picked this up last summer, I believe, in Gamers World in Dublin.
Yes.
We've played the standard Splendor quite a few times. It's the one I got pretty early on when I started collecting board games.
Yeah.
But we wanted another game that we can play with just the 2 of us. But I mean, it's nice small packaging, so if we're going away somewhere, it's a one that we can just throw in a bag and bring with us.
That's it. So it plays pretty similar. It's pretty similar to the standard Splendor, but when you're picking up tokens, they're on a board and you have to pick them up in a line. But it's pretty much the
Other
same
than that,
resource
it's
gathering.
very much the same. You're gathering your gems so that you can buy more cards, which then let you get more gems.
And then you build up those gems then to unlock its merchants, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's first person to 20 points. Use your gems to buy cards, which earn you points. So very similar to the standard Duel or the standard Splendor, but specifically for 2 players.
Yeah, and then I remember we played the the standard Splendor.
The first time we played it was the Star Wars one.
No, you're thinking of Carcassonne, my love.
I am. I'm thinking of Carcassonne. No, the first time we played Splendor was in Tabletop in Cork City.
When they were a board game cafe, and I remember we didn't really read the rules properly, and I think you got up to like 26, 27 points, and we never realised, so that was the end of the game a long time before we got it.
And then you snuck a picture of me looking very smug having won.
I still have it.
Yeah.
It might end up on social media, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We're very much in the mindset that there's no rules in board games.
No, there's no relationships in board games.
Sorry, no relationships in board games. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, we're very much under the mindset that there's no relationships in board games. We kind of made that clear pretty early on.
First date. He actually said it.
I did, because I kept taking the cards you wanted. Yes. And then I said there's no relationships in board games. And now when we play particularly competitive games, we usually end up targeting each other a little more than other people.
Definitely, because it's fun to get a rise out of you.
Yeah, but there are no relationships in board games. We don't help each other. We don't.
No.
We don't not target each other.
That's it, really. That's it.
Splendor Duel, I mean, you can play in about half an hour thereabouts.
That's it.
When you get used to it, you can probably get through it a bit quicker. the same as any game, really.
That's it. So it's a nice way to spice up a game of Splendor if you've played the standard game enough times. Yeah, that's it.
After that, we have Azul, or in this case, Azul Mini.
So
this is another one that you got me.
yes, I bought this in Travelling Man in Manchester again. I remember I was looking for travel size games, as I know I just like taking games with us whenever we go travelling. So yeah, it's the exact same as the standard edition. It's your collecting tiles to build a mosaic, and you've 5 different styles of tiles. Yeah,
so you've a set pattern on your board that you're trying to build. There's 5 of each tile. You're just trying to collect the tiles so you can build your board as you go along. What I love about the mini version is on the board itself, it has like a plastic covering on it, so that there's little indentations for the tiles to fit in, so that if you're playing on a train or somewhere with movement, they're not going to slide all over the place.
That's the same.
Which we've found happens quite a bit in the standard one.
Yes, so you bought an expansion then for those plastic trays.
I did. There's little plastic pieces that go over the main board that act the same way as this plastic piece does, just to stop things from moving, because if someone stand up and they hit the table, they kind of shift, they slide along the board, and it's a nightmare. Yeah,
and then we've played Azul quite a lot. Pretty much every New Year since you got the standard edition.
Yeah.
I got this for Lorcan for Christmas this year, and we played it this New Year's.
And you won.
I won the last game of 2023.
Yeah.
Yes, that's my pride and joy for the year.
Yeah. It was kind of going out on a high for you.
Pretty much, even though I had the flu at the time.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a good game. How long would you say it takes us?
Depending on the number of players, this one plays up to 4 on the travel one, and it's 30 to 45 minutes depending on how many people playing.
Yeah. I'd say we take about maybe 35.
Yeah.
Like, we've played it enough times and we're used to the rules.
Yeah.
And we know it. Like,
we get through it pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it really. This one.
The next one we have now is Carcassonne, and this is your game.
Yes, it's my copy. So my brother bought this originally, and it was one of the first board games I played, besides the likes of Monopoly. I really enjoyed his copy, so I went out and I bought myself one in Tabletop in Cork City. I subsequently got caught in the rain and is in my college backpack, so it's a bit battered, but it's well loved. And it's a simple tile placement game. So you're building cities, you're building roads, and you're placing meeple then on the cities or roads then to gain your points.
So as you place a tile, you can place your meeple on, if you place down a road tile, you place them on the road. And then your goal is to try and extend your road or your city, whatever you're building, to try and earn more points. Now this one plays 2 to 5 players. We've played with the 5-player count before, and it's just as fun to play any number of players with it.
That's it. I suppose what I like about it as well is it's very simple to pick up. It's nice if you want to maybe introduce your partner to board games. Maybe they're not very used to them. It's a nice one to do. I suppose there's an element of competitiveness to it in that you could start building a city and someone will put
a city nearby and then join them up so they can try and steal your points.
That's it.
The first one we played of this one was Star Wars.
It was, and it was in Tabletop in Cork City, and it was the same date, I think.
As the Splendor?
I think so. It was right before college, and pretty sure you won this as well.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he didn't leave me win.
No.
He set the bar high since the start. So we have 2 mini expansions then within this copy of Carcassonne. We have the River and the Abbot. We've never
played them. No. We've only ever played the base game.
And I've had this copy 4 years.
Yeah.
We might play it over Valentine's. That might be our plans.
It might be.
Yeah.
It's a relatively quick game. With 2 people, you could probably play it in about half an hour. With up to 5, it might take a little bit longer. But it's a pretty quick game, very easy to pick up.
Yeah. Did you hear they built a city after the board game? You can fly there from Cork City.
And the last games that we've picked for our selection have been Ticket to Ride, my personal favourite series of games. Ticket to Ride Europe was the first board game that I picked up for myself when I started playing. And it's the first game that we started playing together.
Yes, so we met at a local board game club. I joined in July 2019 and kind of August, September 2019 then. Lorcan's best friend wasn't around that evening, so he's all by his lonesome, and we ended up sitting next to each other for a game of Ticket to Ride, which I almost won. I had the most points, but our friend Rob had
the longest route,
yes.
So he got the extra 10 points and won in the end.
That's it. Yeah, a really fun game.
So it being the first game we played together, it kind of it holds a place in our hearts, really.
That's it, and as well, it's a really easy present for Lorcan because I can just buy him the different versions, you know, and I can build up his collection.
I have quite a few of them now.
Yeah.
You got me this one again in Travelling Man in Manchester.
Yeah, I'm not sponsored by them. I just buy a lot of games there when I'm over there.
The smaller versions, so there's Amsterdam, London, there's San Francisco,
and New York.
Yeah. They're quite small boards. They play up to 4 players. Great for 2 people.
That's
lovely one to pick up if you want to play something in the evening, but you don't want to commit to a big game, or you've just played a big game and you want something simple or something small to wind down. The smaller boards are lovely ones. We picked up the Nordic countries in Tabletop in Cork City.
Yes,
under their recommendation.
Yes, the owner recommended it to us.
It plays up to 3 players, but it's a perfect game for 2 people.
Yeah, we took it.
It was a nice challenge because we'd played Europe so much, and we know the countries in Europe. We're not too familiar with the Nordic countries, and it's a more vertical board. It's quite narrow.
Yes.
So it was a little bit more of a challenge to try and map out the routes you want to build, but it is a really fun one.
Yeah. I remember we took it up to Galway with us one summer. We played it in the hotel room.
And I won.
Yeah, he didn't leave me win.
No.
Yeah. So what is your favourite Ticket to Ride game? Or what has been your favourite to play?
My favourite probably is Europe. It being the first one I got, the first one we played together.
And you have the 15th anniversary edition.
I did get the 15th anniversary edition.
It's really nice.
Which is a beautiful game. It's lovely designed board. All the trains come in their own separate little metal tins. But I did love, we played Ticket to Ride Germany in drafts in Waterloo in London.
Yeah.
That was a lovely one because you're collecting passengers as you go from route to route.
Yes, I just love it when they add like a new mechanism into the board game just to spice things up.
Because you got me Japan and Italy as well.
Oh,
and the Japan one has the bullet train.
Shinkansen.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember it was our very first Christmas. I knew you'd love Ticket to Ride. That was coming out, and I ordered that off a Belgium website, or website based in Belgium, and it seemed like a really dodgy website, but I was absolutely determined to get it.
I mean, it showed up.
It did, and I remember it arrived the morning over our board game Christmas party, so I got to bring it over.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But we've got quite a few of the Ticket to Ride ones now. And you do have one for me. Yes, so Lorcan's birthday is coming up. It's not very long after Valentine's, and I got him the Ticket to Ride Legacy game. It's based in, is it the Wild West? Yes. So I don't know exactly how it plays. I'm trying to avoid spoilers for it. Yeah. So I know it's something I'll enjoy. I enjoy legacy games. I love Ticket to Ride. It's massive. I got it in Gamers World in Dublin, and I got it in December, and I remember, they're lovely in there if you're ever looking for a game. But I just remember kind of walking up to the shelf and kind of like looking at it, and then like, I need someone to bring this down for me. And then they were lovely, and they held it behind the counter as well for me because I didn't want to be lugging around while shopping. So shout out to the guys working in Gamers World in Dublin. Yes, very nice crowd. So those have been our selection of games that we love playing together. A few of them you can play with more people, but they're lovely ones to play as a couple. That's it, and they're games that we've enjoyed over the last 4.5 years. Yeah. So thank you very much for listening to us this evening. And don't forget to like, share and comment, and let us know what games you're playing with your significant other this Valentine's Day. Yeah, and happy Valentine's Day.